Hello, my name is Kun Hee Ko. I go to the University of Arizona. This is my final project video for AB 170A. My topic was about church versus science and the confrontation between the two sides. So this slide is my introduction. My introduction states that many people have confrontations between the belief in the church and the belief against science. And many scientists believe that the church is scared of these advancements in technologies. The church is striving right now to connect their relationship with science and try to change what the church thinks about the advancing technologies. On the right side is a picture of the Holy Bible, which is the church, against a science book. So an example of the church and its past is about Galileo. Galileo Galilei was a mathematician and a philosopher that was considered a father of science. He was a Catholic philosopher that questioned whether to follow the church's teachings or whether to follow what he found in his research. Galileo was called into Rome in 1633 for the crime of heresy. He went to trial for the theory that the earth is rotating around the sun instead of being immobile. And he was eventually then arrested, and he was confined to his house under house arrest and died at the age of 77 at the house. On the right side is another picture of Galileo Galilei. It's cited from, this was from Wikipedia. Example that I found that was really interesting was about Giordano Bruno. Giordano was an astronomer that published works that were against the church's beliefs. He argued that the universe was filled with substances that are similar to air, so pretty much air, that moved by the momentum of other objects. With these statements, he was charged by the Roman Inquisition, saying that he was against the church's faith regarding everything from magic to speaking against the ministers from the church. On February 17, 1600, he was burned in the Roman market square as an example of what would happen when you go against the church's beliefs. So this was before Galileo. About the church, they made an apology. It was in 1979 that Pope John Paul II, was in a meeting at the Pontifical Academy of Science. He gave a speech talking about Galileo's events and the events that happened in the past. Pope John Paul II stated that he apologized for the wrongdoings that happened within the church and that he will try to fix these mistakes that have happened in the past. He also stated that these actions will never be forgotten and that the church will strive to never have any killings done within the name of the church. On the right, it is a picture of Pope John Paul. This slide is about the science that the church won't support. So the church has some thoughts and beliefs that it will never change. An example would be such as the stem cell research, abortion, and contraception. Stem cell research isn't supported by the church because it's thought as though humans are acting as a god and fixing cures and diseases themselves. And it's also because stem cells can only be found within a human embryo, and when they do the research, they're killing these embryos to get the stem cells. Another topic that the church doesn't support is about abortion. Abortion is against the church's beliefs because it kills another person, and the church believes that the soul is brought into the being once the egg has been fertilized. And the last big topic that the church doesn't support is contraception. It's really similar to abortion because it's killing a person, but the difference is that it's preventing the eggs to get fertilized, so that's another thing that the church doesn't support. This slide's about my thoughts against the church and science. The church has had a very bloody and violent past. It has apologized for a lot of its wrongdoings and is trying to prevent it from happening again. I believe that Galileo was a good example to the church that advancement of science isn't always a negative thing, because a lot of what Galileo researched is still being used today, and there's a lot of Catholics, and the church still supports it now. And I believe that the relationship between the church and science will not be in one side, but it will eventually be supportive of each other in many different topics. And As Abdul Baha said, he said that religion without science is superstition, and science without religion is materialism. In conclusion of everything, I believe that there would be no science without religion, and no religion without science. On the right side is a picture of Abdul Baha, and this is my bibliography. Thank you for listening to my PowerPoint, and if you have any questions, leave any messages below. Thank you.